Wizards of the Coast has been lost to us for a long time. They have hired raging social justice warriors like Sam Max to be lead narrative designers for their games, and they're so worried about making products for modern audiences, they've stopped giving consumers good products, and they just announced a new Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set, which of course a lot of people were very excited for initially, but they have decided to not follow the source material and to give us a modern take on Tolkien, deciding to race swap characters like Aragorn. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So this is a Bounding Into Comics article, and I am going to reference a bunch of tweets, but it says Wizards of the Coast race swaps Aragorn for the upcoming LOTR set. In the latest example of Western entertainment's seeming obsession with reimagining Tolkien's seminal fantasy work in accordance with modern-day identity politics, Wizards of the Coast has revealed that their upcoming Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set for Magic the Gathering will depict Aragorn as a black man. Now, I think initially a lot of people were very excited to hear about a Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set. I used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering. I am heavily invested in this game, but I started investing before it went in this direction. I unfortunately, like many other people, have given up on Wizards of the Coast and all of their new products. They are pushing out as many products as fast as they can, and it did, in my opinion, kind of ruin the game. I haven't bought any of their products in a very long time, but it's always exciting to hear about the upcoming things they're doing. We all hope that one day they'll go back to the amazing products and also the better direction that they used to go in. Unfortunately, though, WotC has been kind of lost to us. It says previously announced during the company's Magic Showcase 2021, the upcoming Lord of the Rings themed set was teased as allowing players to team up with such established characters as Gandalf, Gollum, Frodo, Aragorn to battle for the One Ring, scheme with Sauron, or journey to the heights of Mount Doom. This was teased last year. We didn't get any information. We didn't see any cards for it. We just knew that in the future, at some point, we would be getting this set, so it's been in the works for a couple of years at this point, but we are now seeing actual artwork. It says while some fans anticipated the worst possible handling of the IP given Wizards' reputation in recent years, their fears were partially quelled by a combination of a source material accurate piece of work depicting Gandalf entertaining the Shire at Bilbo Baggins' birthday party being put forth as the set's main preview image, and a belief that no other interpretation of the series could stoop to the level of the Rings of Power. You all know I have been heavily covering the Rings of Power because I am very skeptical of it. I am not feeling hopeful for it, and everything we've seen so far has just pissed fans off. And I was thinking, you know what? Wow, okay, this first piece of artwork we saw is actually pretty good. A lot of the artwork that comes out for Magic the Gathering is beautiful. This is no different. This piece looks great. This is something that I would get on a playmat, but unfortunately, it was too good to be true. Taking the stage on August 18th, the freelance host began her tease of the set's 2023 release with the assurance that Wizards' design team had worked closely with Middle-earth Enterprises, and I talked about this a few days ago, but Lord of the Rings and Hobbit IP rights were actually sold to Embracer Group, and now Embracer owns Middle-earth Enterprises. That video will be linked down below in case you didn't see it. But she then proceeded to preview some of this art, unveiling to players their first look at Magic the Gathering's depiction of Frodo, the Balrog, and the set's new borderless scene cards, which when brought together will form amazing recognizable scenes from the books. Upon her reveal of the cards depicting the latter event, fans were quick to notice a significant divergence from Tolkien's original writings, namely that rather than having a shaggy head of dark hair flecked with gray and a pale, stern face, as described in the books Wizards claims to have followed ever so closely, of course, Mr. Aragorn was depicted as a short-haired black man. And of course, their reasoning was modernity. They said the look and feel of the world, the characters, the weapons, the location, and the story moments are going to be intimately familiar, yet fresh and relevant for a wider audience. The folks at Middle-earth Enterprises take their roles as stewards very seriously, and every decision about the characters has been made with a deep reverence to the original. With that in mind, together we set out to make a set that follows two guiding principles: diversity and originality. Now, when I think of Aragorn, of course, I think of that book description. I think of the way that he was depicted in the Peter Jackson films, not this description. And like I have to say for the millionth time, I have absolutely no problems with seeing darker-skinned individuals in entertainment. But you should not be taking this character and making them a darker-skinned individual because it is not in the source material. It does not fit the description of Aragorn. It's not even close. It's short hair, darker-skinned. It does not fit. Yet this is what Wizards of the Coast is doing. They were not worried about following the source material. They were worried about diversity and originality. If you want diversity and originality, feel free to go and make up your own characters, your own story, like you guys have been doing. Don't take a Lord of the Rings set and shove your originality and diversity into it because it does not fit into the material that you are working with. I will not be purchasing any of this set now. I'm very disappointed to see this because I told myself, wow, Lord of the Rings set, maybe I'll end up purchasing this. Maybe they'll actually be able to get some of the money out of my wallet, but I will not touch this with a 10-foot pole now. Of course, out of all of the characters, they choose Aragorn because he's the King of Gondor and the reuniter of man, one of the most central characters in the whole series, and even Tolkien named his third book, Return of the King, after him. And of course, a lot of people are furious that this Lord of the Rings set is a modern take on Tolkien. There are a lot of posts on social media. Aragorn was actually trending on Twitter. People are saying things like WotC is releasing an LOTR themed magic set, and you'll never guess what they did to, of course, our beloved character, and people are furious. I do not see Aragorn in this image. People sharing his book description. Well, boys, we did it. Racism is no more meme. I mean, people are absolutely dunking on Wizards of the Coast, and there are a few people online who are, of course, defending Wizards, saying that, wow, they're so stunning and brave for doing this, and you're just a racist if you don't like this character. But this was not his book description. His skin color, his hair, his stature were all very clearly described, and that is what they should be following. And it's not racist to want an accurate character here. I unfortunately am not very surprised by this. Wizards of the Coast is filled with raging social justice warriors now, but I am very disappointed to see that we were finally getting a Lord of the Rings set, and this is how they decided to mess it up. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.